was officially the first one to die when those planes flew into the towers. I mean, others had died before, but Mike was the first one that they actually wrote down. The first official death was a fireman, the chaplain.
That right there was a small piece of the play My Will and My Life about the life and death of Father Mychal Judge. Joining us now is the actor who plays the New York City fireman telling the story, John Tranchitella. John, thank you so much for joining us here on Live in the Bay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so incredible, this story and this play that is being told, you know, talking about this life. So for our viewers who may not know a lot about on the background of this story, can you give us an overview of what to expect during the play?
Yeah, I play a fireman, George, who is a New York City fireman, who is a fictitious character, but the play itself is about his relationship with Father Mychal Judge, who was a real person who died in the North Tower when the South Tower fell in 9/11. He was officially the first death. It was the first one they wrote down that they could identify. And he was in the tower. He didn't have to be there. He was in there praying for the people that were dying. And he could have very easily not been there, but that was Michael's life. It tells the story of George, his relationship with Michael. Michael helped George get sober, and that's a true part. Michael was involved in the recovery community in New York, and he also helped George come out of the closet. George was really tortured about being gay, and Michael was gay himself. He was a celibate priest. The play was written by Father Harry Cronin, who was a local Berkeley playwright. And Harry passed away this year, and we wanted to do something to honor Harry. I had done the play many times throughout the Bay and in New York. And we wanted to honor Harry and remember 9/11 and remember Michael, who has been now nominated for sainthood. And if that goes through, he would be the first gay saint. So, or openly, you know.
Yeah. Incredible. So, well, that's so incredible that you guys are doing this work to honor so many different people. For you, why was this so important for you and special for you?
When I was introduced to Harry Cronin, the playwright, this was several years ago, and he said, "Oh, I have this play. I think you'd be good." So I read it, and I cried when I read it, because George's story of being in the closet, being tortured about it, was my story. And yeah, and so there's a lot packed into this, but really that's what attracted me. And I was not a fireman, but I was a cop in the Air Force, so I understand the first responder. And 9/11 was I remember that day very, very clearly. So yeah, and Harry, the playwright, was just an amazing person. Our director, Chris Kelly, and I collaborated with Harry for about a year and workshopped it and fine-tuned it. And Harry was very generous to me as an actor, letting me, you know, make George my own. And the reaction is you know, why we keep doing it, because it's been positive. I mean, it's not an easy play. There are some funny bits. It's not all, you know, I said I can't stand up there and cry for an hour. But it's about grief, but at the end, it's about redemption, and it's about hope. And I think even today, it's valid. We need hope. We need to remember people like Father Mychal and Father Harry. And yeah.
I completely agree. Redemption, hope, those are all things that we really need, especially in today's climate. So that sounds like that is something that is giving to the audience. Now, this is a one-man play. So what were some of the challenges, or maybe some things you learned about yourself as an actor?
How much I appreciate being on stage with other people. Like when you're out there by yourself, it's you. And it stretches you as a performer, as an actor. But the writing is so good, and the characters are so close to my heart now. I get to play Father Mychal as well, George's memory of Father Mychal. So it's actually, I'm playing like two characters. So yeah, and I'm really grateful to Unity San Francisco for hosting it and you know, having us do it there.
Well, where can you mentioned Unity in San Francisco. Where else can people watch?
We are, I believe it's going to be recorded and put on the Unity website, but it's free and open to the public. We're just doing it for free. We're not charging. There will be a donation, voluntary. 240 Page Street is where Unity is. Saturday, September 10th, this Saturday at 7, and Sunday, September 11th at 7 as well.
Incredible. Well, thank you so much, John. We appreciate your time and sharing a little bit about the play with us.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Of course.
For having us. Yeah.